Hello, welcome back. My name's Natalie and this is my channel. I have a small business in Alaska known as The Bread Lady, where I make sourdough bread and other baked goods for our community, macarons, different things like that. So welcome back. We are on day 2 of creating starters. I have 3 different types of flour and we're going to test them out and see what kind of starter they make, how long it takes them to make a starter, and go from there. Okay, so as we talked about last time in our first video, we are doing the King Arthur bread flour, we are doing Kirkland organic all-purpose flour, and we are doing my freshly milled wheat, which comes from these grains. And we talked about the differences in them last time, and so if you'd like to go check out that video, there's more information about that. I ended up labeling these because these look so similar. All-purpose flour and bread flour, so that I wouldn't get them mixed up. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the tops off of these. As your sourdough is processing, becoming a sourdough, make sure you don't refrigerate it. If you live in an extra cold environment, then you need to have it slightly warm. It doesn't have to be like heated or anything like that, but just make sure it's not freezing cold. So let's go ahead and feed these for day 2. You'll be able to see, so this is what our sourdough starter looks like, which at this point is just wet flour. So let's start for day 2. We're going to feed our bread flour starter, this King Arthur bread flour, which has a high protein content to it. 2 tablespoons. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of dust off that spoon. It has a little bit of extra in it, but I'm not going to worry about it in between bags too much. More so just don't want to get the wheat into the other ones. This Kirkland all-purpose flour. I'm doing 2 leveled off tablespoons full. Okay, and I'm just going to dust off this on a towel. All right, and then this is my freshly milled wheat. This is a hard red wheat berry. 1, 2. All right, and then I have, and at this point we're just doing equal parts. And also I want to state that this is at almost noon the following day. So this is basically a 24-hour feed. You don't have to worry about being exactly 24, 12 hours, whatever. Just feed it periodically, once or twice a day, you'll be fine at first starting up. So then I'm going to do 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2. Okay. And then we're going to get our little spatula. And like I said, all this stuff I have linked in the description on my account. So if you want to go check out my Amazon storefront, you can get any of these products. Hopefully y'all can see okay. So just mixing this in. Like I said, this is day 2, and we had a lot of information on day 1 also. So if you'd like to go back and check that out, you can. I'm just going to mix it around, make sure that our flour is good incorporated. We don't want any dry chunks. Typically, it takes me about 4 or 5 days to have a good active starter that's doubling. And it looks pretty well incorporated to me. So I'm going to leave that like that. I'm going to scrape down the sides. Make sure I get it all in there. Okay. All right, and next on to the all-purpose flour starter. I'm gonna scrape around. I can already tell a difference in consistency between these two. The other one just already looks so much better quality. It just has such a higher protein content to it. That King Arthur bread flour just is top notch. This will make a starter, and I have made quite a few and trained people with it. And it will work and it'll be just fine. But the King Arthur bread flour is just, to me, the best flour to use. Like I said in the previous video, sometimes my starter will actually triple when using that instead of double because it's just so
happy and thriving. And we're going to scrape our sides down, get it all down to the bottom, make sure it's all together. Okay. All right, and then last but not least, we have our freshly milled wheat, and you can see the huge difference in the texture of this. I mean, it just swallows the water. I'm honestly thinking if I was just doing this for myself at home, I would probably add more water to this than just equal parts, just because it is so thick. See how thick it is? It's like a solid clump, just with equal portions. But just for experimentation's sake, we'll continue going the exact same as with everything else. And this is freshly milled whole wheat, so it's not sifted at all. Every part of the grain is in it. All right, so that is our wheat. All right, so now we are going to cover these. If they're on the counter, just make sure that you have them covered. Like, you could put lids on top, just set it like that, but you don't want to screw on any lids. This lid actually is what goes with this jar, and I wouldn't want to screw it down, but like I said, if you want to just, you know, set it on there or something like that, that's fine. It's not active starter yet, so really there's not as big of a fear. But if you did have an active bubbly starter and you screwed the lid on, especially onto a glass jar, it will actually shatter your jar. It has gases in it that need to expand, and you want to make sure that it is able to get through. So that's why these bonnets are so helpful, because they let the gases go through.
So anyway, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow and we will look at day 3. See ya.